Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things we're talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. They'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
It's time to demand the truth, my friends. Welcome, Earthlings. Welcome to First Contact Radio. How you doing? You ready to jump into things? Let's do it. Cosmic weather. The energies we're dealing with today. So, planets and star-wise, we got two stars that we're looking at. We got the sun and the moon. One of them represents our conscious mind. One of them represents our unconscious mind. The conscious mind is the mind when we are awake, what we are consciously thinking of. The unconscious mind is that which is happening below the surface. When we have dreams, we activate the subconscious mind or access the subconscious mind. When we meditate, we access the subconscious mind. And when we're able to get the subconscious mind and conscious mind working together, it's a beautiful thing. So the objective is to learn how to do that by learning the energies that we're dealing with in life every single day. So right now we are in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. Virgo is the sun sign. The sun represents the conscious mind. Therefore our conscious mind for this period of time is focused on the area of Virgo, or the area that Virgo represents, what it means. Virgo is an earth sign that represents patience, it represents timing, it represents the analysis of energy and then putting out into the world as a form that's very practical for others. In the tarot card, the card that represents a Virgo is the card of the Hermit, which is someone who has gone into solitude and gathered a lot of insight and wisdom and patient in the process, and now understand it's time for them to come out and hold the lantern high for others to see, to teach. So those are the aspects of Virgo. Then you have the aspects of our moon sign, which is our unconscious mind, what's going on below the surface, and we have Leo. Leo is a fire sign. So underneath the surface there's a lot of fire, and the fire is creativity. The creative energy, these ideas we get, that's what they come from. The fires of creativity are all around us, and we draw off of that. And Leo, the lion, teaches us an important lesson. It teaches us the lesson of right useness, or righteousness. The tarot card that would be associated with Leo would be the card of strength, and it's a card of righteousness, because it says the righteousness, or take the word righteousness and look at it as right useness. It's the right useness of our energy. If we've got all this fiery energy, all of these ideas going through, we can do all kind of things with it. We can channel it all sorts of ways, but if we learn to channel it through our heart, through love, then it's going to make a big difference on the way that it really affects our body, and that the way that we turn that energy out into the world, the way we reflect it back. So that's the right useness, to bring it through our heart, because that's where our greatest strength is, love. And if we let all of our ideas go and be filtered through this love, you know, good things happen. All right? So that's what's going on with the energies today. We got an earth sign on the conscious mind, and underneath we have a fire sign. So we want to get them nice, balanced out together. We want to find a practical way to bring these creative ideas up into the physical world. Alright, moving from there, moon phases, we're almost down to that new moon, only 4% of the way. Our Mayan Oracle, which is the Mayan Oracle, is the Mayan calendar with a few adjustments to it. Jose Arguelles was a gentleman who saw this and saw that there was some corrections and some correlations that needed to be made, and so that's what this is. And it's a count that continues on. It didn't end because even though the Mayan calendar, December 21st, 2012, came and went, the next day happened. The ending of one calendar simply means the beginning of another. People say, well, why did the Mayans stop? They stopped at December 21st. They didn't do any more. It's because the calendar started over. It just goes back to the beginning. You know, that's what these are all about. They're cycles. Cycles begin and end. There's no grand final ending to anything. So here we are. We're looking at one of these cycles, the dream spell, which, as Jose said, is the adjustment that gives us the course correction that we need to make up for what was off in some of the systems, because mankind comes along and changes systems. And so here we find this system, and we've got cycles and cycles within cycles. So we're in a wave spell. This is a 13-day theme, and it's the theme of the warrior. The warrior asks questions, and we're at the 7th or the 8th position of this wave spell of 13 days. And the 8th position is called the galactic position, or it represents the galactic tone of integrity. These tones, there's 13 of them. They relate to 13 cycles the moon goes through over a course of a year. Each cycle is 28 days long. There are 13 of them during the course of one whole year. And so that's what these 13 represent. So today we're at the 8th one of those. Okay, so we're at the 8th galactic, and right here we have the night. The night in this case is N-I-G-H-T, is nighttime. Dreams happen during the night. We access our unconscious mind. We experience the abundance and the wealth of that subconscious mind. And so that's what this is about. So today would be the blue galactic night, because of the color blue, obviously. Galactic night guided by the hand, which is right above it. The hand is about accomplishment. So the phrase for today that sums all this up here is, I harmonize in order to dream, modeling intuition. I seal the input of abundance with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of accomplishment. And if we go down here, we see we're Galactic Activation Portal Day, because, remember, these first 6 are a reflection of these 6. So here we have the 3rd column and 3rd row down. Okay, because there's a point where the 3 and the 3 meet. It's also a reflection of right here where the 3rd and the 3rd meet as well. Okay, so those are days called Galactic Activation Portal Days because of the way the energies, you know, balance and bounce off of each other. They're a little bit more intense. All right, space weather. Our solar wind is 407.2 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is quiet at the moment. We do have a coronal hole. Solar wind will be coming forth and has been coming forth. We'll see what happens. All right, we've gone up 1% more than the M-class flare. It was 4 yesterday, so we're at 5 now. And geomagnetic storm activity has dropped. Everything's down pretty low, 10%, 20% severe if you're in the high latitude. So not really a lot going on there. All right, Suspicious Observers Report for today. Here we go.
Good morning, folks. Antidote to insanity from last night's news. I'll rip them when they deserve it and credit when it's due. They have hit all the high points for why Hubble ISON images appear like this. Apparently they're as sick of the nonsense as we are. It's not a UFO or anything crazy like that, just a potentially significant comet. Rather than hunt through my comment sections for astronomical image parallax discussions, just read this explanation, and if you need more, a third source on our side is Astronomy Live, and they did a much better job than either NASA or I did explaining it. Terrific article, and today's top recommendation is Sarah Seeger's new alien life equation. She's rehashed Drake just a bit. And with the utmost respect for Sarah, observers who have seen Starwater Chapter 1 know she should consider expanding at least one of her variables. This is an Earth observatory shot of the rimfire near and in Yosemite. The situation is improving slightly, in some places quite a bit more than others. Multiple tropical systems developing in both the Atlantic and the Pacific, but the imminent threat right now, should it choose to beef up, is just east of the Caribbean. Australia and New Zealand, each seeing showers over the next day with the pink tags I've added. In Europe, A powerful low dropped down past Finland and really kicked the counterclockwise drive when it set eyes on Russia. Just look at the clouds bend to the pressure's will. This is also the way we dissect today's U.S. temperature delta. Intellicast has this 24-hour change to heat and cold. Now, high pressure drives clockwise in the northern hemisphere, so we drive heat north on the western left side and bring it south on the leading eastern side. Low pressure out west is helping at the convergence as its eastern flow heads north as well. You can see that motion on the wind map. Should not be hard at all to see why it's warmer in the north central states and a bit cooler in the Midwest. Eyes up top here, above the Earth overlay, that big sunspot group is falling apart. All 4 primary regions are exiting the Earth-facing disk with magnetic mixing potential remaining on the trailing southern group, while the leading northern group complexes as it heads out of sight. Could be a limb popper. Top right box, you see magnetic connectivity of Earth near the departing active regions, and on the left, you see blue Earth with a proximity warning so close to the sunspots. Still got Venus yellow on our side and Mars and Mercury sharing connection on the back. Powerful coronal holes facing Earth tomorrow. They lose points for not being equatorial, but they are big and powerful according to ISWA. Last night's watch was a 4 to 6 hodgepodge, and I'll keep it mid-range, but not for long. We had a volcano erupt in Guatemala yesterday. No major quaking, just locational upticks in PNG and the Indian Ocean, largest ones of the day. But the most unusual was a 4.3 in Texas, complemented by a 4.1 on the west coast. Also this, the aftershocks from that 7-pointer had folks worried about more on this individual location, but it has indeed quieted. Those bigger coronal holes will be here in a day. Expect the uptick to hold off just a bit. New moon in a few days, likely what is eclipsing the SDO frames the last 24 hours. You'll see it a few times here. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.
All right, very good. All right, so I'm going to move on here. All right, so we got a lot of crazy things going on in the world. We have comments that are coming this way. There's obviously, as you know, a variety of different ways in which people are looking at the comets. There is certainly the image which shows the 3 objects, and then of course you hear that there are those who are trying to say that this is because of this system thing called parallax and yada yada yada. And you know what? You got to decide for yourself. You got to make up your own mind on what you think is going on here. There's a lot of skeptics out there. There's a lot of people who are going to try to debunk something as soon as it comes out because they don't necessarily, want to entertain certain thoughts or whatever. We got to open our mind. We have to get out of the phase of wanting to debunk each other so quickly, because we're going to, we put our skeptical people in the front of the line and they debunk things right away, and then before anybody gets to think, all the skeptics are hollering things out. So I think we just got to think for ourselves, all right? So we'll do more on ISON as it's coming in, certainly, the latest of what's there. So all of these changes are going on are part of changes that have been talked about for quite some time. And this week's theme is Dolores Cannon. Yesterday you got a little introduction on who she is, and some of the things she talks about are the changes that we are going through, why we're dealing with this. So this is Dolores, and she's talking about Atlantis in this one. So let's just continue on and learn a little bit more about her.
Well, whenever Atlantis went down, a lot of them, some of them went to Egypt, the one survivors, and to other places, but some of them went underground. And there's an entire cities all throughout. There's all kinds of tunnels and transportation systems that link them all together. Some of the trains and things down there can go 3,000 miles an hour to link the cities together. There's like a sun inside the earth that lights everything. So they have light, they have lakes, they have water, they have everything they need. And there's animals down there that do not exist on the surface of the earth. They have live computers, if you want to say that. This is in my second volume of the Convoluted Universe. It talks about the underground cities. They have computers that we can't even approach, that can create and do anything they want. And the people are so advanced, they have no desire to come to the surface. They have everything they need down there. They've been down there for thousands and thousands of years. And they're much more advanced than we are because there's no wars, there's no violence. But yeah, there's civilizations under the surface of the earth. And people say, well, it can't be, there's only the magma. It's not. No one has ever gone, I think how many miles it said they've gone into the surface of the earth. They've never gone to where the underground cities are. They're much deeper than that. But they're all connected with tunnels. It's a lot of things I've discovered. There are entrances under most of the monuments in the world, especially under pyramids. There are entrances to it that have been discovered, but a lot of times they are guarded because they don't want people to go down there. And it's not advised. You wouldn't be able to go down there unless they would invite you anyway. But there are entrances all over the planet in and out of these underground cities. They're real. But it's not advised to go exploring around these things because they're heavily guarded. But I've written about all of this. It's in my books anyway.
Well, we're just getting your beautiful message out there.
Okay.
Do any of them come to visit us or come to help heal
They
us?
can, but they don't want to. They'd rather stay away from us. Even the ETs are afraid of us, the extraterrestrials. We are isolated over here in this part of the galaxy on purpose. Earth is a young planet, and we're put over here in quarantine, so to speak, in this part of the galaxy on purpose. They don't want us to contaminate the rest of the universe. We're the ones that are violent. We're the ones that are the negative ones, and they're really afraid of us. So, believe me, the people underground don't want anything to do with us either. We have to get our act together. Oh, the ETs help us all the time. They've been helping us since the beginning of the world. But that would be a whole other series of lectures that I could give you on that, as how they created us and how they started the whole civilizations and been watching over us since the beginning of time. So they're not negative. But eventually they want us to join with them and to be part of the federation that it's caused, because they said we would be a valuable addition because of our curiosity and our creativity. But they don't want us as long as we're into this negativity. That goes back to our animal nature, and we have to get rid of that first before we can ever be allowed to associate with them. So they just watch us and observe us and shake their heads. Can't figure out why we do the things we do. And when I was talking about getting the psychic abilities back and beginning to realize your true nature, get away from the animal nature, the violence and everything. That's part of it, and they're helping with it. They're hoping we're going to go out of it, but it's not easy. But we can't do it, and that's why they won't associate with us. People say, why don't they go and land on the White House lawn? They don't want anything to do with us. They're observing us to see what we're doing. The only way they would interfere would be if we were to try to blow the planet up. Then they would have to interfere. Because if we were to destroy the world, it would send reverberations out through space into the galaxies and disrupt too much. And they couldn't allow that to happen. It's the law of non-interference, and it's very real. And if they can't interfere unless something like that would happen, because then we would be interfering with other people, other civilizations. So they just watch us and shake their heads. We're a planet of free will. They've given us that to see what we're going to do with it. And they don't like what we're doing with it. But that's all they can do. But I give lectures on that all the time too. But it's a whole other series to take it from the beginning. I've written 4 books on that alone. So every civilization in the world has the legends of the nature spirits, the dryads, the fairies, the gnomes, the pixies, the little peoples, because they're very real. They're the nature spirits. Their job is to take care of the plants and the animals. And we have all been these things. It's like we've all been rocks and plants. We've also been fairies. It's part of our nature to take care of the animals and the plants. It's just another life form that we've been. When I go to England, they understand this more because they're very close to it. When we were close to agriculture, to nature, people used to see them more. But now that we've gotten into the technology age, we don't, because we drifted away from it. But they're still there. I said the only ones you're aware of now are the gremlins that like to play games with my computer. But they're still very real. They're still there. It's hard to find them in a city, though. But they're just other beings, that's all. Another form that we go through. The guardians. The planet has a consciousness. The planet is alive. It's a living being. So it has its own karma. It's why it doesn't like what we're doing to it. And it's like a dog with fleas. Eventually, if he doesn't like what you're doing to it, it's going to shake the fleas off. This is what's happening right now. It's living out its karma to get rid of the tormentors. No, the earth itself has a consciousness. It's very real. This is what cried out, help me. And this is where the volunteers have come in to help change everything that are coming in at this point. But that's totally separate from the nature spirits. It's a totally different thing.
All right, so there you go. So that's some more in Dolores canon. We'll get to more tomorrow, but very interesting. So a lot to take in. UFO news is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. 6 stories today. Story number 1. This was last month in August, Miami, Florida. And what we have here is there's the type of camera that was taking it, what was captured. UFO, multiple static spheres, daylight. Okay. According to video filmer, I modified the T-zoom lens and added motorized zooming. Simply I used this iris drive motor to drive the zoom mechanism, and it works. The lenses were adapted by a modified security camera, LG LCB5100, with an 80 NR IR filter. Okay, so he goes on and describes this, and let's take a look here. There's the camera. Okay, and here we go. We look and see our objects. And this video itself is 3 minutes and 34 seconds in length. And you can see right there in the middle, very faint. It's better when you can take and blow up the screen. Alright, so this is the first one, links available. Now we're going to go over to Indio, California. This was on the 28th. New footage of unknown lights recorded while hovering in the sky above Indio. So during my drive from LA to Phoenix, I spotted lights in the sky I couldn't explain. At first there were 3 bright lights of an orange-yellow color, appeared to be in the formation of a triangle. They didn't move but hovered in the air. They were a good distance away but still very bright. They were low enough to see them but high enough not to be the tower connected to the ground. About 5 minutes of watching these, another set of lights appeared nearby the first set. Disappeared quickly. The same thing reoccurred multiple times for the next 30 minutes. The lights would appear and disappear quickly, but always in different positions than the last. Alright, so here's the light right there. And you can see it moving around a little bit. There is some blinking to it. Okay. So the link's available. Check that out. This is over Derby, England the other day on the 2nd. It says UFO have cloaks, even DARPA has made some primitive cloaks capable of hiding tanks and buildings from a distance. So it's just science. If a UFO is in a wide open area, it will try to cloak itself in a self-made cloud if unable or unwilling to turn invisible. So eyewitness states what I thought was a comet turns out to be even stranger. I think this is some sort of vortex tube created by some zero-point energy craft. Alright, So that's very interesting the way it looks. Alright. So, certainly unidentified. And the link's available so you can check it out. Alright, so we're going to move from there over to Australia. Also on the 2nd. This is strange bright UFO lights recorded in the night sky above Melbourne on the 2nd. I recorded the ISS approximately 20 minutes earlier as proof. We'll keep raw footage and timer start. Second camera. Okay, this is the real deal. Neil, been doing this for about 5 years, full time, never seen anything like this. Alright, here's our ISS. I think we saw something like this the other day. There's our object in question. Bouncing all around. Oh, they got 2 cameras too. Alright, he's moving with the other one. Alright, so this is a good sighting. 2 camera sighting, both seeing it, so that's a nice good verification that one camera is not just seeing something the other one isn't, because they're both picking it up. Okay, going to go from there over to Turkey. This is a pyramid shaped UFO, or a diamond shaped UFO that was over Turkey. This was last month. There's our diamond shape. Alright. It's diamond shape, but it's almost like the classic looking shape, because you can see the, this is like one of those classic looking shaped UFOs basically. Alright. And from there, one more story here. This is the Alien Agenda Myth, Underground Bases, and the ET Present by Dr. Rita Louise, and this is from UFO Digest. Subterranean bases, according to conspiracy theorists, can be found around the world, with major active outposts all across the United States, Australia, Antarctica, and South America. Deep in north-central New Mexico is a sleepy little town of Dulce. Dulce is located on the Archuleta Mesa of Colorado, New Mexico border. It is the home to about 3,000 residents and the capital of Chakra Apache Nation. For small and insignificant as the remote location may sound, it became the center of controversy in the early 80s. Physicist and inventor Paul Benowitz claimed that he had discovered a large underground base occupied extraterrestrials in Dulce. The story quickly spread to the UFO community. Allegations that surround the base include human abductions by extraterrestrial beings. He also asserted that the extraterrestrials were engaging in the development of advanced technology, including genetic manipulation. Their plan, according to conspiracy theorists, is to control the government and gain ultimate control of the Earth by means of a new world order. Stories have emerged regarding an untold alliance between human and the inhabitants of the Dulce base, which include ties to the shadow governments via secret societies such as the Illuminati, the Masons, the Bilderberg Group, and the Skull and Bones. Dulce is not the only place on Earth where it is believed underground bases exist, but it is the one which has received the greatest notoriety in recent times. Subterranean bases, according to conspiracy theorists, can be found around the world, with major active outposts all across the United States, Australia, Antarctica, South America. These bases are connected to each other via a series of channels which connect base to one another. There are even assertions that one of these tunnels leads to an active base beneath the Vatican, which has been exerting control over Western civilization for centuries. Alright, so this kind of ties in to the idea of the underground bases. Not quite the same with the Atlanteans, but you could see that there's an underground aspect to this. So going underground is not an unnatural thing when it goes to the ET phenomena. Alright, that's the UFO news. Stay tuned. I'll be back with more.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Spirit, send down your love. Send down your love. Send down your love to us from above. Great Spirit, send down your love. Send down your love. Send down your love to us from above. Oh, 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 oh. All right, continuing on. So what we're going to go into now is we're going to switch gears here. I'm not going to get into any conspiracy theories today. That's why you didn't hear the conspiracy theory music. Hey, there's enough of those out in the world, right? We're going through changes. We are having a battle between light and dark, good and evil. It's playing itself out, and every day we see examples that it's playing out more and more intensely. So what are we to do? Well, I had a good conversation with someone yesterday, and really we're looking at some of these issues, and it got me thinking and understanding that there's a lot of folks with questions these days that are looking to find out how to deal with what's going on, because there are people waking up little by little every day, and when somebody is waking up to the reality of what's going on, there's a number of things that happen. One is the reality that there is this oppressive structure in the world that presents itself through governments, through religions, through business, through a variety of different ways. And they're all intended to enslave us, keep us controlled. Well, at the same time, there's this spiritual aspect that's unfolding, and recognize that is understanding there's a much bigger world. There's something going on out there that we can understand that will help us with our personal growth. So with these two thoughts going on, there's a lot that a person is dealing with. Well, we have to figure out now how to integrate these energies, because that is the issue. Okay? When there's a sudden thirst for information, a lot of times people want to go out and with the spiritual and everything to dive in and try to get as much as they can. But what ends up happening is, after a while, I've seen so many people get burnt out because they go into this, they're using techniques and reading stuff and doing all kind of things to raise their consciousness, and they surely are vibrating and increasing their vibration. But we have to learn to integrate these energies, because if we just keep vibrating and raising, and we don't know how to handle that, well, then that could be a challenge. It's like we've been plugged into 110 electricity, and now we're being up to 220. You kind of get the idea. That's just the idea that we have to learn how to handle more energy. We have to learn how to deal with it. So rather than jumping into trying to get all of the more complicated symbols and things, we need to start at the basics of how things work. Because, you know, one of the questions came up was the study of these really involved esoteric symbols, and the not understanding of what they meant. And I said, well, go back and learn the basics. Learn the basics of numerology, of sacred geometry, of these different sciences. They're going to help you to understand, when you look at these more complex symbols and things, that you'll be able to understand, because you'll have a basis. Because we have a tendency to want to rush ahead and skip some of these important aspects, because it seems like time is moving so quick and we need to hurry up and do all of this. We don't have to hurry up and do anything. Okay? First of all, if any of you are out there listening to the show, have expressed some interest in a particular subject of esoteric science, something about past lives, UFOs, things of this nature, chances are this isn't the very first time that you've come up with this subject. Chances are, because we've all lived multiple lifetimes, you've explored these subjects in other lifetimes. Because you've done that, that wisdom is inside of you. So we need to get in the habit, when we want to access this information, to go inside. To still our mind and to find the answers we're looking for. because who we are and what we're about is so valuable that all we have to do is remember it. But it's been hidden in the place that most of us will never look, inside. We're so busy running around in the outside world trying to find this solution or find that or find out how this can help us do this. We just got to go inside. You know, we look to the outside for information to help us, to direct us to new subjects, maybe show us new things to read. But then once we learn some new things, we have to go and absorb that. And that's where the going in part is. So what I want to do here is I want to introduce the beginning step. Okay? Introduction to Sacred Geometry. This is a nice 5-minute piece that explains some things about just the basics. And you build on there. Okay? Understanding the basics of geometry, the basics of number, the basics of everything. Because it's like if you're going to study calculus, you got to understand basic math first. You have to be, a beginning karate student before you become the black belt. You get the analogies. So in life, we can pick up these things, we can learn these things really quick, but we need to go to get that basic foundation. And then once we do, we can build from there real easily. A lot of this foundation we already have inside of ourselves. So that's what these studies actually show us. So I'm going to stop talking now and play this piece. Here we go.
In this introduction to sacred geometry, I'd like to begin with this image. It's known as the flower of life. Now, this image has been found in various spots throughout the world, including here in Abydos, Egypt, where it's etched into the walls in the Osirian temple. Here it is again. Here it is in India, in Turkey, and it's been found in China and in various other places also. But it's known, according to Thoth, the Ascended Master, it's known not just here on planet Earth, but he says it's known everywhere, throughout the cosmos. Sometimes he says it's called the language of light, sometimes the language of silence. But in fact, it is a language that can be used to talk about anything. Because he went on to say that contained in this image is everything within this created waveform universe, including all the laws of physics, all languages, all biological life forms, right down to the very color of your eyes. Well, that sounds like a ridiculous statement on the surface. But the more you get into this, the more you study sacred geometry, the more you begin to realize that it is absolutely true. Now, this image is known as the flower. It's called the flower because it actually comes from the pattern of a tree. So if we look at the cycle in nature, let's take a fruit tree, a plum tree. In the springtime, the plum tree flowers. The flower turns into a fruit. And contained within the plum is the seed, which has got to contain the image of the entire tree, obviously, because when you plant it and nurture it, it will grow into eventually a new plum tree. So, if this circular nature was found in the geometry, and it is, then the seed would have to be contained in the flower. So you get to the seed by taking out the center circle and the 6 circles that just surround it. Here you go, here's the seed. Now the next image is known as the tree of life, and many people assume that it originated in the Kabbalah. Yet the Kabbalah came out roughly about 1700 years ago, and this image has been found etched into the walls, etched into the pillars in some of the oldest temples in Egypt, both in Karnak and Luxor, probably about 5,000 years old. So here again, it's known everywhere. Now, the seed and the tree have got to be the same if we are to follow this cycle that we find in nature. So look at what happens when you superimpose one over the other. They fit perfectly, just like a hidden key. And what you're looking at here, basically, it's the nature of sacred geometry. It's flawless, and it just continues to move in this flawless manner until the entire universe is created, where everything is interlinked to everything else. Here's the tree of life inside of the flower. And there's actually 12 points that aren't always shown, but when you do show the 12 points, you will see it fits perfectly inside of the flower. Okay, here's the next image. Simple Vesica Pisces. And all it is 2 circles. It's like if you take your compass and draw 2 circles exactly the same radius, and you do it so that the center of the first one passes through the edge of the second one, and the center of the second one passes through the edge of the first one. So the common area here is known as a Vesica Pisces. Another ridiculous sounding statement on the surface, and that is that contained in a simple Vesica Pisces is literally all knowledge. Take a closer look here at the flower. And when you do, you will see that it's nothing but Vesica Pisces. That's all it is. And here again, this points to the nature of sacred geometry. It's absolutely flawless. Contained in it is all knowledge and everything within this created waveform universe. It's all here.
All right, so that kind of gives you a nice little introduction on things, but we're going to continue on because there's a lot of introductions that are out there. Okay, so you got an introduction to symbols. There's symbols everywhere. We can look in nature, we could see examples of what's going on. Numbers are also part of the mix, so I brought this website here for you to look at. This is a website all about numerology and other things. The Secrets of Numerology, Meanings Made Easy. Okay, it goes on to say, numerology meanings have been found their beginnings with Pythagoras, a Greek philosopher and mathematician born in 570 BC. But the idea of numbers and their spiritual significance was practiced heavily by our ancient ancestors in Mesoamerica and simultaneously. The ancient Maya felt the universe, ages, or cycles, everything could be broken down into numbers. Numbers were sacred and alive. The magic of numerology takes your name or date of birth and reduces them down to single digits. Each digit from 1 to 9 has its own tendencies. The resultant number is said to reveal your key personality. But the power of numerology meaning takes a further step by considering the values of each number in your birthday. Most often your personality contains dominant and subdominant essences of several numbers, this showing where you are balanced and imbalanced. Yet another step of refinement comes when you take your name and birth date numbers both. Your name has the power and is not an accident. It reveals hidden clues you may have not been aware of. There could be reasons why you don't like your name. This article will show you how to gain a better understanding. So, it says odd numbers are masculine, even numbers are feminine. And when I say masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about a gender, but about traits. You got masculine traits are active, creative, thrusting, cold. Feminine are passive, receptive, yielding, warm. Masculines, if you look at the electrical poles, the positive pole, the feminine is the negative pole. These are just charges of energy, not positive and negative as in a value. The masculine and feminine tendencies are visible in both sexes. In fact, many numerology numbers for women are very masculine and vice versa. We all know men who are gentle and nurturing. We also know women who are aggressive and cold. So we get down here, and this is the key. You got the numbers 1 through 9. Okay? Basically, everything in the universe is energy. Energy can be interpreted, and we look at energy and interpret it and begin to understand what that energy means, and we assign value to it. So A number is just a value assigned to a particular idea or concept that when we look at that number, it helps us to understand what that concept is. So as we go through and we begin to understand numbers, and we continue our study of sacred geometry and metaphysics and esoteric sciences, all of these will build on each other, because as you understand the numbers, that's a foundation for understanding the next step. Because once you understand the numbers, then the next step is learning how to take and add and subtract these numbers, and how that plays a part in the esoteric studies. And then you have the science where you look at the numbers of gematria and you start breaking them down, where numbers come together as words, and those words have meanings. So there's a lot to it. You got to start with the basics. And so these are some of the basics here, what the numbers are, what symbols are. It's not that any of these are overcomplicated sciences, because if you think of the words of Jesus, because you have to be like a small child to enter the kingdom of heaven. Simplicity is the key. So even though there's a lot here, it's inside, okay? You go inside. These things are inherent in each one of us. All we have to do is remember. And as you look at this, and as you study, and you go through life, and you look at what's happening in life, you'll see the numbers in life, and you'll begin to understand how there's a system. You'll see the symbols around you in life, the natural symbols in life, and you'll start to see that everything has a system, and it's just learning that everything in life is teaching you. All right? I want to move on from there. Now, part of the process of going through all of these energies and dealing with them is learning how to integrate them. And we are in a time right now where there are so many changes coming fast and furious at us that if we don't learn how to integrate all these energies, we're going to get overwhelmed by them. As I said before, it's like going from one voltage of electricity to something else that's much greater. And we have to find a way how to deal with that. Well, we have the ability to do that because our bodies have centers that regulate these energies. Okay? There's 7 chakras, main chakras. There's more than that, but there's 7 main chakras down the center of the body. These chakras are used to be able to have energy channel in and out of us. Okay? And as we work with these chakras, we learn how to work with our energy fields. Later, when we do the meditation today, it's going to be specifically geared towards cleansing the chakras. Okay? But this website here I wanted to show you is a website all about the chakras, what chakras are and so on. So we go here, give a little introduction. This is a person can collect energy from several different levels of vibrations, including colors that are utilized in various parts of the body. Throughout our body, we have many energy centers which are connected to major organs or glands that govern other body parts. Each of these main energy centers are referred to as chakra. A chakra is a Sanskrit word which means wheel. A chakra is a wheel-like spinning vortex that whirls in a circular motion, forming a vacuum in the center that draws in anything it counters in a particular vibratory level. So there's a lot more here. You can look at the 7 chakras, see what they all are. These are the ones we do in the meditation every day, the colors associated: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay? So these are all of the chakras that are here. And again, I'm just going to leave this for you. Just wanted to make you aware of it. We're going to keep moving on. A lot of information today. All right, this one here is dealing with a particular chakra, the pineal gland, which is the third eye. A lot of people want to work with their third eye or get involved with meditation, and their third eye becomes more active, or people want to activate it more. And so there's various ways to do it. It says having trouble meditating or remembering your dreams, or just feeling lost and disconnected from the source. Problem may be a blocked or calcified pineal gland. And if you go down here, it finds different causes for this, and some of them are the things we eat. We got fluoride in the water, we got junk foods, we got the sugars and those things, and we got the belief systems, which are very important. And what we have to do is we have to practice, okay? Practice, 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 and that's really it. You know, practice our steps to work with our energies. None of this is complicated at all, but it requires practice, okay? You don't go from a beginning of karate to being a black belt without practice. You practice over and over and over. Okay? With anything. That's what it is. Spirituality, the answers are inside. We have to practice going inside. We have to practice stilling our mind so that we can go in and learn what's going on. All right? So, moving on. Today, Revelation 2. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that beholdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which they say are apostles, but are not, and hast found them liars. And hast borne, and hast patience, and for my name's sake hast labored, and hast not fainted. Nevertheless, I have something against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of its place, except thou repent. But this thou hast, and thou hatest the words of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the garden of God. And unto the angel of the church of Smyrna write, These things saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt by the second death. And to the angel of the church of Pergamos write, These things saith he which would have the sharp sword with 2 edges. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou dwellest, and thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my face, and even in those days whereupon Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain amongst you, where Satan dwelleth. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak, which cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat the things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. So thou hast also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and fight against thee with the sword of my mouth. He that heareth an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man saving he that receiveth. And unto the angel of the church of Thyatira write, These things saith the Son of God, who hath eyes unto like the flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. I know thy works and charity and service, and faith, and thy patience, and thy works in the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication, and eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. And behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into the great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he which searcheth the reins and the hearts. And I will give unto thee every one according to your works. But unto you I say, and unto the rest in Tyria, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan, as they speak, I will put upon you none other burden, but that which you have already held fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him I will give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of the potter shall be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. All right, and that is Revelation 2, Revelation 3 tomorrow. I want to introduce you to a site, though, before we move from Revelation. This is a site, It's Enki.kr, I believe it is, or KR. And go to this site. I get some very interesting emails that are describing and written about Enki. And this here is a really good breakdown relating the story of Enki and the Book of Revelation. So if you go through here, this is the blog page you can go. You can see you've got the Book of Revelation, and then you have the commentary in here. And I just wanted you to be aware of this because there's some very good work here, and some things that could be quite valuable to understand, to know, because we do hear the stories of Enki and Enlil and how they're tied in with everything. So we want to start to make sense of what all this means. They aren't just random stories. Okay, so check out this site, read through there, and see what you get from it. All right. Now for today, we've got the Pleiadian message to the Earth, and then our meditation.
Pleiades message to the planet Earth.
The 1st of September, 2013. By Karen Dunan.
Greetings, beloved ones. I am Lyra from the Pleiades, and I come to speak on behalf of my peoples. At this time upon and within the planet Earth, many are in transition and moving into balance and wholeness. We as your fellow brothers and sisters of light now speak directly to you and with you. More will now unfold upon and within planet Earth that will begin to support all that has been guided through our channel, for many are still not accepting of their stellar origins. We embrace the new Earth energetic frequencies that now exist around and through you, and we send you much love at this time. For all will unfold and all will now begin to manifest in truth as you begin to work and align with said new Earth energetic frequencies. For our children incarnate into human form, the new Earth energies will allow them to breathe and to be. The old 3D Earth frequencies worked against our children in their human form and saw many fall to the emotions of those around them. As the heart space begins to repair and strength returns to the human vehicle, then the blossoming of our children in human form will begin to manifest. For they walk in the light of truth at all times, and the old Earth has sought to prevent them understanding why they are here and what they are here to be. Other members of the Galactic Federation of Light will now step forward to share messages through our channel as their introduction to their children in human form and as an introduction to the family of light and truth. For you in your human form have never walked alone, and this will now be shown to you in Technicolor. We guide for you all to connect at heart level and to understand that the process that you now move into is guided from your soul. Many of you are directly aligned with our planetary system even though you are not children of the Pleiades, and many of you have spent many lifetimes incarnate on our planetary system. The memories that sit at soul level will now begin to unfold and to flow into your human conscious waking mind. This is the process that will see you begin to anchor truth to new levels of your being and understand who you are in truth. You have moved from a dimensional reality in which you were prevented at all times from freely accessing the help and support that is available to you in your human form upon planet Earth. The transition into the new Earth energetic frequencies will see vast changes in the way that you live upon planet Earth within the human vehicle. We send much love from our planetary system to you in your human form, and we ask for you to understand the need for this process to unfold naturally. A ripping away of one reality too quickly for the human vehicle would cause harm to the human vehicle, that is of no service to anyone and is not supported within the new Earth frequencies. As our channel now aligns fully with her soul purpose here in her human form upon planet Earth, then more information will flood through and into the waking realities in which she walks in her human form. We ask for you to understand that in her human form she has a process to unfold as you are in a process, and we guide for you to understand her need at times to rest and find balance. The letting go and shedding of the need to align fully with her human aspect is now dissolving, and this process will complete soon. This is process that many who are here to work with her and support her also go through. Many of those you term channels upon planet Earth will follow a similar process, for the information required by the human race now alters and expands and deepens. We understand fully the need for the questions, the need for answers, and the need to know. However, it serves no one if these are not allowed to form freely and naturally. This is a celebration of the human race ascending into truth, and all are now preparing for the changes that affect all. For much as the birth of a child is an addition and brings changes to a family, so too does the addition of the human race and their consciousness to the family of light and truth. We draw your attention to the consciousness of your fellow human beings. We draw your attention to your ability to feel and to know, and how these levels of frequency have now heightened. We will now step forward to those who have chosen to have contact with us in our physical form. This will be in various stages as guided by your soul. We understand that for many of you in your human form the need to see is paramount, and yet we guide that the human vehicle itself has to be prepared to anchor to the levels of truth needed in order to accept another form in the physical waking reality that it inhabits. Again, this process is a process that will unfold with the support of the new earth energies and the support and guidance of your soul. All are one and all just is. I am Lyra from the Pleiades, and I speak for the peoples of the planetary system of the Pleiades at this time. Be at peace, for all is now, and the miracles that you have dreamed of in other realities will now birth fully into your human waking life reality on planet Earth in the universe of 3 in the human linear year of 2013. 333-22-444. Stargates are now open and fully activated and can be accessed by all with the relevant coding and frequency.
Alright, very good. And let's check out our angel message for today. Give yourself the gift of time to rest, rejuvenate, and reconnect with yourself. Always very important. Give yourself the gift of time to rest, rejuvenate. Alright, so let's go into our meditation. Today's meditation is a clearing meditation. We're going to work on clearing the chakras, taking this energy that we have and acclimating to it. Alright? Just take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Now I want you to imagine all of the chakras. Imagine 7 chakras down the middle of your body. Each one of these chakras is a little vortex of energy. The energy moves counterclockwise and also clockwise. Counterclockwise and clockwise. First chakra is at the top of your head, and the color of that chakra is violet. And this chakra is pulling in energy from the cosmos all around you, and it's entering the crown chakra. So I want you to imagine the color violet like a wheel spinning in both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise. And imagine just this bright white light going through, cleansing out anything that is doubtful or fearful. Just imagine it going through there and just cleaning it out. And then let's see the energy now move down from that crown chakra to the chakra below it, which is the third eye chakra. And imagine this wheel right between the 2 eyebrows, spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. And imagine the color indigo, which is purple, purplish color. Imagine that color, and then imagine this bright white light just going through and cleansing that chakra, clearing out anything of doubts or fears. And then the energy moves down to the next chakra, which is at the throat. And imagine the color blue. Blue at the throat chakra, and see that wheel spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. And imagine some white light going through and cleansing out any darkness, any negativities or fears. And then the energy moves down to the heart chakra. See that spinning wheel there at the heart, moving clockwise and counterclockwise. Imagine the color green. And then imagine a white light going through that chakra and clearing out all of the darkness that might be there, any doubts and fears. And then the energy moves down further, just below the rib cage. And you see that chakra there spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. Imagine the color yellow. And then see a white light going through there and cleansing out that chakra. Cleansing out the darkness and the fears and the doubts, anything that may be in there. And then the energy moves down further yet, right to the belly button. Imagine the color orange. See the chakra spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. And then imagine a white light going through there and cleansing out any of the darkness and the fears and the negativity. And then finally all the way to the bottom chakra, the root chakra. And imagine the color red. And see the wheel of the chakra going clockwise and also counterclockwise. And then imagine a white light going through there and cleansing out any of the darkness and the fears and the doubts. And then the energy continues to go on. And there you are with this energy moving through your body, through all of the chakras. And imagine this white light just going through from one chakra to the next, continuing to clear and cleanse. And as you're doing that, I want you to imagine a shower over your head, a nice little rain shower, and as it washes down, I want you to imagine that all of these residual fears and doubts and negativities or anything that's holding you back is washed away. And your body becomes cleansed and your chakras are cleansed, and you see yourself sparkling as this light comes brighter and brighter as the darkness and everything is washed away. And actually see all this darkness down by your feet being washed away, going down a drain. Now imagine looking at the sun. And as you look at that sun, just feel that light, feel that energy filling your body. And feel the energy. And really feel your chakras as they're working, each chakra adjusting to that energy. And as you learn to feel your chakras and feel the energy of each chakra, you learn how to balance out whatever amount of energy you're dealing with. And the more you practice, the more adept you become at working with your energy fields. So imagine now all of this energy filling your body so much that the energy begins to overflow and flow outward. And it fills around you about a foot away from your body. And then expand that out a little bit further, 5 feet away from your body. And then finally to fill the whole room with energy. And from your heart chakra, I want you to send love all around the planet. Send this love all around the planet. Imagine the color green. This love going out from the heart chakra. Send this love down into the earth. Imagine the earth smiling as this love is sent to it. And send it up into the cosmos. Imagine all of those space brothers and sisters smiling down. Now, we're going to let our subconscious mind continue on this journey today. Feeling our energy. Pushing away any doubts or fears that may come to try to get into our way. And sending out love. So let the subconscious mind continue on that journey, and let the conscious mind come back to the present moment now in the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. There you have it, my friends. That is our show for today. Thank you very much. Use that meditation. It's a good clearing meditation. It's good balance your energy. You know, if you need to ground your energy, simple things like stepping on the ground, picking up a rock. It's that simple. I know I threw a lot at you today. I'm going to slow down a little bit over the course of this week so we can get more in depth with some of these teachings, but I wanted to introduce you to some of these basics. because there's a lot going on, and I know there's a lot of you that are waking up that want to understand how to integrate these energies. You don't want to jump ahead of where you are. You want to learn the basics, step by step, okay? Learn the basics. Once you get those, it helps you to understand, so as you continue moving forward. And the basics can all be found by going inside, okay? That's where we're at today. I'll be back tomorrow. Love you. Talk to you soon. Have an awesome time. Peace. I'm out of here.